$18,300, the best contractor price that I could get to fully sheathe and roof this 40 by 50 Dream Shop here in my backyard. Well, we don't have the budget for that. So for the price of not even a third of that, we're gonna knock this thing out ourselves. And it's really windy. Let's build this Dream Shop. This whole thing started life as a joke that became a bet with my wife that if this YouTube channel hit 100,000 subscribers, I could build a shop in my backyard. Well, we achieved that goal and quickly realized how complicated and expensive this dream was going to be. From homeowners association issues, city building permit regulations, to skyrocketing contractor prices, I've had to jump hurdle after hurdle just to get to this point where we are now tackling this 40 by 50 Dream Shop DIY. What could possibly go wrong? Let's be honest, I'm probably way over my head when it comes to building something like that. Not only technically, but financially as well, which is putting us in a situation where we have to do a lot of this ourselves. $18,300 is actually the best price I could get for a contractor to come in and take care of the roof sheathing and the asphalt shingle installation. I have figured out a way to do it with even better material for 1/3 of the cost. The only stipulation is I gotta do it myself. So after 84 sheets of OSB and over 2,000 self-tapping screws, we now have a roof, kind of. But today's task might just top last time. And be sure to stick around because we're gonna do a full price breakdown at where we are so far in this project and how much exactly this roof is costing me. We're less than 1/3 of the original contractor quote. All right, we're gonna chalk this up to the price of learning, the pains of DIY. Good news is the eaves across both sides have our fascia, or this trim. So we have our LP Smart siding. We have the OG, my dad, and my father-in-law helping out today, which has been a massive help.
I got family.
So starting with the good news, both sides are done. The rake edges on this in the back, done. Trim is done. The bad part on the top of the roof over there where we once had a lot of synthetic underlayment, I messed up. Nowhere on the internet does it say how many fasteners and what the spacing is for OSB bolting into metal purlins. OSB going on regular lumber, it looks like 6 inches on center, up and around the edges and across the center, 12 inches on center between the fasteners. For OSB on metal building frame, this is like a unicorn building. Like, I can't find anything. Regardless, we had spaced those way too far out. Underlayment came off, and now we're back to almost square one. It is actually a really good thing that I tore that off. I make mistakes, but I'm not afraid to call them out when I do make them. A lot of the comments in our last video were worried about the spacing in between the OSB sheets. 1/8 inch is what you need, but I didn't take into account this gap. And just in the one short week, swelling has happened, or I think it's called expansion. You can actually see in just a short week, this has begun to pull up. So I've spent my entire day with that, sawing 1/8 inch gaps in between every sheet of OSB. It's been a long day. So it shouldn't come as a surprise. We are learning so much on this project, and I appreciate your guys' continued engagement in the comments below because I learned so much from you guys. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet and you're enjoying this Dream Shop build, please scroll down, subscribe below so you don't miss any additional updates, that piece of paradise that I've always dreamed of. Just a little bit more difficult on this side. We got the wind breeze blowing that way, so it's lifting the paper up as I'm laying it. But it's a sad moment because we're saying goodbye to our HOA. Aloha. All right. If I had a counter for how many times I've climbed up this scaffolding already on this project, well worth the investment. But the exciting part is the entire roof is covered in synthetic underlayment. Now, elephant in the room, I went and bought more because I ran out and I was in a hurry and I grabbed this one. It's actually very grippy. About 15, 20 more cap nails to put in there. Then it's drip edge time. In the back of that truck, we have 21 10-foot sections, which will be running all the way around the building. I believe on the rake ends goes on top of the synthetic underlayment. On the eave ends, it goes underneath. So the synthetic underlayment kind of goes over the top of the drip edge. That's what I'm learning on the internet.
Now here's the part of the video where I realize my camera has a slow motion mode that doesn't record audio. So here's me talking in slow motion about the starter strip from GAF installed all around the roof, including the 2-inch drip edge nailed in across both eave and the rake ends. Just look at it. It's beautiful, perfect, impeccable, just like you.
So that's gonna be it for tonight. We are out of light and out of time, unfortunately. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, which sucks, and it's gonna rain all day. Sit it out tomorrow, work on another project, and then Saturday, hopefully Saturday, we'll be back out here bright and early, lifting stuff up, nailing stuff down. See you then. Woo! Another morning. All right. Morning, my friends. It's a wee bit chilly this morning. My goodness, this is so many shingles. I don't know how those guys knock out an entire house in a day. We are 2 days into roofing. That's with the underlayment, the drip edge, the starter shingles, and we are to here. About a quarter of the way. The good news is we're finally getting in rhythm, or I'm getting in rhythm and figuring out the best process to execute this. I do need to pop one more chalk line. I'm gonna straighten these guys up. One of my favorite parts about all of these projects is the learning that comes with it. I started very slow and I got fairly quicker towards the end. If there are any roofing companies out there looking to hire, I'd get fired pretty quick. We're looking good for the most part. And it's fairly straight, kind of. All right, my friends, 2 days straight. We have half done, kind of. So I've got up to this point because I am going to put vents in. You guys convinced me. You said put in vents. I'm gonna put in vents. The inside of the shop eventually will be insulated and kind of climate controlled. I think it's gonna be a little bit of time until we have the insulation in and everything, so I'm gonna want some vents, which is why we've ended here. I'm enjoying this, guys. This is fun. It just takes so long. Just one of me with one nail gun. It's taking a while. DIY for the win. Well, good evening, guys. We're out of light and out of time. I don't know if you can see me, probably not. But today was a good day. We finished the majority of one side. We probably have 2 more rows, plus vents, plus ridge cap. I'm gonna be back out here bright and early in the morning because I have tomorrow and we're out of time. We have rain coming in. Also, we're leaving. Traveling. I need this thing done before we leave. Tomorrow we're gonna be flying. I think I finally found a rhythm, found the right tools, found the right process to knock this thing out and get all the shingles straight. I'm gonna get some medical tape on my fingers because they're torn to bits. See you guys back in the morning. All right, so what I'm doing now is I'm popping a chalk line every set that I'm doing, and every set is 7 rows. And I'll pop 1 line at the beginning of every run to make sure I'm still good. But we've been able to keep it fairly consistent. The only problem we had was at the very beginning because these purlins are so out of whack. We're good. I'll pop each end, make sure it doesn't move because it does when I hit the nail. Lovely. I'm gonna save the last nail. Use it. Alright. This thing has been awesome. Good there, good there. Pop this guy. Stay there. I'll leave that gap, and so the valley. That's it, what the internet told me anyways. Everything I know about roofing is what I just watched on YouTube. This should go without saying. This is not a how-to video. This is come along for the ride and watch this show unfold. That one's a little bit lower than I want. Probably unnecessary, but just to make sure. Seal that off and it'll glue down. I know these are not the right gloves, but I love mechanics gloves. Mechanics! So I'm nailing these guys in. I'm aiming for these 2. See how these are sealed together? I want that nail to penetrate between both of those layers. Technically, these do give you like a real wide range to hit the nail into, but I'd like to hit it between those 2, which is very close to that line. So shout out to my father-in-law for helping today again. It's a day what? Day 3? 4? 7? Day 12? So we got our chalk line there, line the top up. We got a neighbor with a flat tire. That don't sound good. I wonder if you ran off the road. A lot of drivers, because this road curves and there's like really sharp edges. Stay. hey, not by choice, we have to get this done before this afternoon because there is rain in the forecast. We got up to about that point last night. I'm guessing another hour and a half at least on this side. And on the other side, I've got to install the vents, finish up the roofing. And then once that's up, we're giving this a big high five and moving on. This has been a beast of a project. It's also been just one massive learning process. One thing being shingles. Don't stack pallets of shingles. When Lowe's delivered the shingles, he said we can just stack the pallets over here in the corner to keep them out of the way. That was my mistake because the shingles on the bottom kind of got tattered quite a bit. I pulled them out just to air them out, let them flatten out as much as we could last night. Hopefully that helped because some of those shingles up there, they were looking a little rough towards the end. Welcome back to the top of the world with the Lonestar Hawaiian, also known as my real name. Actually, not a lot of people know my real name. If you know my real name, drop it in the comments below. Mom. So Kent went ahead and cut the pieces that we need here. And sorry for the wind noise because it's windy as always up here. And I realized this last night when I was unpacking the wet shingles. I did this backwards the entire thing. So you're supposed to start with the 6-inch piece and work your way larger. I started with the large piece and worked my way down. So basically I've been nailing in a backwards pattern the entire way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a larger space for number 6 because that valley or those pieces come together here and you don't want that water penetrating and getting close to those nails. If I did this correct, I could do this how you're supposed to, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So lesson learned. And because we're up here doing it ourselves, I've been sealing and gluing all the corner and edge pieces just in case there's any wind-driven rain. Probably not an issue. Since it's me doing it, I can spend the extra couple dollars. We popped our last chalk line all the way down. Thank you, sir. Stay. And then working backwards as we have done this entire project. This edge is really what matters because it's what you see from down low. Man, this weather today, we got a forecast in that 1 o'clock it was gonna rain. And then it started raining like at 9 a.m. But we have one side completely complete. It looks so cool. That was so many shingles. On the other side, we need to install 3 vents. And I think we have 5 or 6 more rows all the way across. On top of all that, we have our ridge caps. And they're not normal ridge caps, they're the Z ones. We like fold it, but they're a higher definition. A little bit more defined. I like that look. And it will also match the house, unlike the shingle color, as I'm coming to learn. This Certainteed brand, it's a lot more gray tones, a little bit of a mixed texture, where this weathered wood, same defined color, but from GAF, it's a lot more consistent in terms of the color patterns. I guess you can tell it's a little bit more brown. This is more gray. We're past that point. We're living with this. There's no changing it now. We have 3 vents that are being installed on this side underneath that first purlin from the peak. You guys convinced me. I'm gonna do vents at least for the meantime until this is fully insulated and complete. All right, back to the top. Let's go. So the opening is 10 by 10. So that's gonna be the opening, and then this sits on the sides. So this installs like that. That sits, what's that? Yeah, 3 7/8. So now this into the shingle, and then I'll use silicone over the top of it. We run our next row of shingles on top of this, and then on top of this, and then on top of this, right? Don't blow away. Actually, I know you will, so.
Closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out?
Liquid sunshine, liquid sunshine. Good for the soul. That's it.
Scared to look in my soul.
Home stretch, baby. Home stretch. Let's go. Oh, get this done. One more.
Afraid I would follow alone.
Oh,
Afraid of the things I've been told.
let's go. Hands are cold.
Can you help me out?
Soaking wet. Let's do this.
Can you help me out? Am I
That's it. Let's go. This side.
But can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Are you speaking out? Are you speaking out? I think I can feel you say dream big, 'cause boy you're gonna make it. Stand tall is higher road you're taking. Let go of everything that you know. Be wild in the mystery.
Well, I'm kind of cold. I'm a little bit wet. And we leave tomorrow morning, which is why we tracked on just to finish this thing up. So. Roofing in the rain in winter time. 1 out of 5 stars. Would not recommend. 0 out of 5 stars. It's very cold. We're solid. We have a roof. We have a roof, and we worked our butt off to get there. And I know I said at the beginning of the video that I was going to reveal a bunch of the pricing stuff. So here's all of that in a voiceover because I'm done. Aloha.
All right, so after being quoted $18,300 to fully sheathe and roof this 40 by 50, technically it's 52 feet long, shop, we completed it for less than 30% of that quote. Yeah, that's 70% off. So here's the breakdown. I bought all my material from Lowe's. You'll notice when Lowe's sells things, they have a bulk discount at a certain threshold. Well, due to our sheathing and asphalt shingle order, we hit the threshold on both of those, which took 10% off the price. The OSB sheathing, 84 sheets, came in at $1,585. Lumber costs $262. The shingle, starter strips, drip edge, ridge cap, which is not yet installed, which we will soon, came in at $3,184. Self-tapping screws, a whole lot of them, $250. Nails and other hardware, around $200, which brings our grand total for the roof, $5,481 and a very sore back. So we saved $12,819 while still installing Class 4 impact-rated shingles. We're going to call that a big win, except for the sore back part. That's not super fun. Which brings us back to the blackboard, my friends, because we are adding now our roofing costs to the grand total. Now, this is kind of a painful chart that just gets more and more painful as the weeks go on. But grand total for the roof, as you saw, $5,481. So from the top, we got our permanent at $375, foundation coming in at $35.50, flat work or the driveway in front of the shop, $12,226. The metal building frame with the installation just under $40K. Fill dirt and the rear fence. Do I really need to put that as price in the shop? No, but I am. Also, rolling gate could be debatable, but the rolling gate DIY costs $532. And then our roofing cost puts our grand running total at $94,760.